Wellen from the Marquette Wire. I'm here with Jack and Jack in the Rave in Milwaukee. How do you guys like Milwaukee so far?
Milwaukee's awesome. It's our first, real time ever being in the city. We've kind of traveled through it, but never really spent any real time here.
Yeah,
even though
we went to the radio station 103.7, and that was fun. Let's see, they had some great grilled cheeses there. So the grilled cheeses are good in Milwaukee.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't experienced too much. Just it's a little chilly, but I don't mind. It's the Midwest. What do you expect this time of year? So Milwaukee's cool. I'm digging it.
All right, awesome. And you guys have been friends since kindergarten. How did you guys exactly meet?
how did we meet? Well, we were in kindergarten. You kind of have to the kindergarten teacher's all right, name game. We gotta do this, and coincidentally, we were wearing the same shirt. And I guess that was kind of a reason to become friends. But then we figured out we were both named Jack, and we were just like, yo, this is crazy. What are the odds? Let's be friends. And it's how it worked. Kindergarten, first day.
All right, awesome. And what made you guys decide to make vines together?
Man, I think it was just pure boredom in the summer. We just had nothing else to do. Omaha is not the most interesting city in the world. Not trying to bag on it or anything. I love Omaha, but yeah, we were just like, hey, we're just bored, and we'd rather just do something else instead of going to the pool every day and doing the same thing every day. And so we just started making these little 6-second videos, and I don't know, one thing led to another. It kind of took off, and here we are in Milwaukee.
I know, Milwaukee at the Rave. We're excited.
Awesome. And how did you guys decide to do music once you did the vines?
I mean, I would say music was probably a decision we made before, we even knew what Vine was, before Vine was even a thing, because music's been around for so long. It's always been in our lives, and our parents, obviously, I mean, just like anybody, I feel like, in the entire world, our parents loved music, and they were always playing music when we were growing up, and they took us to concerts and stuff. So, I think our passion for music was always there before we even did the whole Vine thing, and once we got the followers on Vine and stuff, we just saw it as, a natural progression. Why not just continue to do what we love and use this platform that we've built for ourselves? So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, and what is your songwriting process like once you guys decide to do music?
I would say for the most part, we usually start with a hook, because the hook is typically the general idea of the song, the overlying idea, and so we'll just kind of go back and forth and figure out what conceptually we want it to be about, and then we'll add lyrics to it and whatnot. Usually we already have the production piece made or is being made by whatever producer we're working with, and usually we'll give them a reference of what kind of vibe we want to go for that song, and then so once we get the hook knocked out, we'll have him cut that, and then usually I'll take it home with me, with just the hook on it, and I'll do my verses just in earphones, and I'll just write them in my room by myself, and then he'll write the bridge in his room by himself, and then we'll come back the next day and cut those parts, and then I would say for the most part that's the typical songwriting process, But
yeah, no, I feel like that's the typical one. But I think in recent, weeks, just these very, very most recent weeks that we've ever made music, we've kind of developed a new writing style, and it's one where either Jack or I will go in the booth without hearing the beat and put the headphones on, have them press play, hear the beat for the first time, and record at the same time. So that way, the beat's fresh in your mind, and whatever you're spitting out, whatever you're freestyling into the mic is just fresh. And, there's no judgments, you just go in there and spit whatever you want and sing whatever you want, and we just pick and choose from, melodies and words that one of us happened to say, while freestyling and hearing the beat for the very first time. And I think that's, a cool way to do it, because it's, that was, the freshest idea in your mind whenever you hear it, because it's, the very first time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Who are your musical influences?
Musical influences,
Man, for me, I would say quite a variety of people. I mean, at least people right now. There's this guy named Russ, who I'm a big fan of. He produces all his own music, and he's a rapper, singer, hybrid. He kind of has that new age Bryson Tillery kind of sound. Bryson Tiller as well. He's really cool. But I would say growing up, my biggest musical influences were, I mean, believe it or not, my parents were always playing rock and roll, and so that obviously doesn't really translate into our music as much. But I was definitely influenced just by people like AC/DC, Aerosmith. They would always show me their videos of them rocking out on stage, and I was just like, hey, those guys are cool. They're stars, And so, at least just live performance-wise, I would say that's an influence. But at least rapping-wise, I would say Eminem was the first rapper I was really into when I was in first grade, second grade. I would always steal my brother's iPod and listen to all his songs, because my mom wouldn't let me listen to explicit music, and so I would always be stealing my brother's iPod and listening to the explicit songs on there, because I thought I was really cool and whatever. But yeah, Eminem for sure, just at least flow wise and his speed of rapping influenced me. And then Lil Wayne, at least just lyrically, influenced me, I would say, just with the catchy lines and the catchy punchlines and stuff like that. So
Yeah, no, I would kind of say the same thing. You know, the old rock and roll artists and just like whoever was big when we were growing up. You know, 1996 to 2002 when we were like 0 and 6. And I don't know, like really, I think my biggest was probably U2 and just like Bono in specific because like I went to like 2 U2 concerts when I was like 7 and then like when I was like 11, and both times I was like, man, I want to do what Bono's doing. Like that looks so fun. But recently, at least, it's been like Jack said, like this dude named Russ, Bryson Tiller, like new people who come out with these new sounds, and like it sounds like those sounds like should have been around for so long, but like they just got discovered and they sound so fresh and so new. So I'm inspired by them to kind of find that sound within my own sound and, hopefully within our sound and make a track that everybody loves one day.
yeah, I'd say, I mean, a lot of reggae artists too.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
we grew up on reggae like crazy in high school. That was our go-to genre. So
We're
like
saying a bunch of like hip hop stuff right now, but I mean that's just because we're big into it right
yeah,
now.
Sublime and Revolution and Iration and a lot of just like we like making chill music sometimes too, and kind of having the contrast with our hype tracks and our chill tracks. And so I think there's a lot of elements that come into play. I know we're kind of going all over this place, but I mean there's just so many people that influence.
Yeah, I mean there's no limit to the amount of people you can be influenced by and inspired by. So we just have a very long list.
Okay, and how would you describe your music to others?
Describe our music.
Our music is just, I would say it's all over the spectrum. I don't think Jack and Jack is constricted to any one genre. I think we cross a lot of elements from different genres, and we kind of pick and choose and take what we like from each genre and kind of infuse it into one, I suppose. But it really does vary on a track-to-track basis. I would say, one track you could see it being like a chill R&B track, but then the next one could be like a hype hip-hop track, and the next one could be like, just like a reggae guitar riff, like a Billionaire Bruno Mars type track, like a reggae pop track or something. I don't know. So it's really all over the spectrum, but I think what really keeps it consistent is just like, his vocal tone, my rapping style, and I think it's cool to show that versatility, I don't think we ever want to just be making one type of music. I think that just gets boring to the listener. So we like kind of mixing it up and making it like a progression and like a storyline and throughout our album, throughout our work. So I think it's
Totally.
all over the place, I would say.
Yeah.
And where are you guys going with Jack and Jack as musicians?
I mean, we're just trying to take it as far as it'll go, man, because right now we have, like, this awesome fan base, but, most artists that you know of in your mind and that are in the mainstream media have that one song that, like, everybody knows. And I think we're the opposite. Most artists are striving to get the fan base and they already have a hit. Like, for instance, I think Daya, who's on tour with us, Grace, we call her Grace, that's her name, but Daya, she's great. And she's the opposite of us, and that's the case with a lot of artists.
She's like a top 10 song.
Yeah, a platinum album, or a platinum record.
But she doesn't have like the diehard following yet, like the cult following. And so with us, it's like we have the cult following. We have these like crazy fans that are showing up at the airport, like they're waiting outside our bus and stuff. But we don't have like the hit record yet, So I think for us, the next step is just really finding that song that I guess defines us to the mainstream, and we push the radio and we take to radio and stuff.
Yeah.
But
and I think that'll all come with like the album, and all come with like just us being in the studio a lot over these next like 3 months in between U.S. tour and Europe tour and all that goodness. So we're really excited. We can't wait to put out music for the fans and gain hopefully some new fans too.
lots coming.
All right, well, we're excited to see where you guys go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
This has been Lily Wellen for Marquette Wire.